Hi everyone, my name is Brianna and I'm currently 20 years old and I'm here today with my mom, Mama Bree.
Hi.
And today I'm here to testify on how the Lord's hand did not leave me to die from a 30-pound cancerous tumor that literally left me almost at the edge of death. On December 25th of 2023, happening to be Christmas Day of last year, I was diagnosed with a teratoma tumor in the emergency room. Now, it all started when my stomach started growing all of a sudden in October. So I naturally thought that maybe I was, gaining some weight or maybe I was just a little bit bloated, but I just noticed that nothing that I would do would take it away. And I then started getting extreme abdominal pains to the point where I couldn't even walk, I couldn't even stand, I couldn't even eat, do nothing. So that's what led me to happen to go to the ER to get this diagnosis. Now, it grew so big in the matter of a couple months from when I actually got the tumor removed in February. It grew to, as I said, 30 pounds, and it grew 14 and a half inches wide. So everywhere I went, everyone was asking me, oh my goodness, you're pregnant. How many months are you? And I was like, no, it's a tumor. And it was very awkward, that experience, as you can imagine. But when I finally was able to get the tumor removed, fast forwarding to February of this year, 2024, the doctors kept on asking me, why did I wait so long to get this tumor removed, being now that it was at 30 pounds inside of me, 14 and a half inches wide, and I could barely even walk and stand. Now, the reason why I waited so long for this tumor to be removed from me was because I was waiting on a supernatural healing from the Lord. My mom, happening to be the previous year of 2022, she happened to be paralyzed with arthritis from head to toe, literally immovable. My mom would not be able to sit down right now if she still had arthritis the way she did in 2022. Now, the Lord completely and supernaturally healed my mom from arthritis. So being that my mom and I walk in the supernatural power in the Lord, believing in healings, believing in miracles still to this day, and seeing them with our own eyes still happening before us, I was like, Lord, I want the same healing that you've given to other people. I want the same healing for me that you especially have given to my mother. I wanted that healing. I didn't want to have to go through the surgery. And that's why I waited so long in order to get the surgery, waiting on the Lord's hand, which in this case, that did not happen. Now, I would just like to briefly describe to you guys on how my surgery actually went. My surgery was actually 5 whole hours long. I had a whole entire blood clot in my whole entire left leg in the surgery due to this tumor that was inside of me. And because of this blood clot, the doctors were also prepping me for open heart surgery in case of this blood clot traveling to my heart in the middle of surgery. I also needed 4 whole blood transfusions because of how much blood I was actually starting to lose during the surgery. Now, after surgery, the doctors told me that because of how intense the surgery was, I could have died basically in the operating room. And now, because of the surgery and how long and how big my tumor was, I have a very long scar that I would like to show you guys later towards the end of this video, which measures also about 14 and a half inches wide, considering the tumor was the same exact size. And now, during my recovery from the surgery, I was in the ICU for a whole entire week. The first day after surgery, I threw up. I was in the worst condition of my life, basically. I couldn't even walk, couldn't even stand. And I was in so much pain. Yeah, I was in so much pain. And it was just the worst day of my life. I couldn't even speak to my mom when my mom came into the room to speak to me on how my surgery was, how I was feeling. I couldn't even speak because of how bad I was feeling. So now, come the second day, when my mommy came into my room in the ICU again, the first question that I asked my mommy was, Mom, did God leave me?
So that day in the hospital, after my daughter asked me, Mommy, did God leave me? I told her, no, Mommy, God didn't leave you. God doesn't leave his children.
The reason why I asked my mom, Mommy, did God abandon me? Did he leave me? Was because I was in complete shock of how much pain and how much suffering I was experiencing in the hospital. I felt like if the Lord had left me, because I was like, Lord, do you not see this pain and suffering that I'm going through? Why would you allow for me to go through this, Lord? Why? I felt abandoned by the Lord, because you never think that you're going to end up in the hospital one day with a 30-pound cancerous tumor and in the ICU. You just don't think that's just going to happen. And so I felt at the lowest point of my life, and I felt like if God just was letting me suffer on my own.
So that same night, after my daughter had asked me if God left her, and I was comforting her and telling her, no, Mommy, God didn't leave you. He's still with you. He loves you. He's here giving you strength. I was just comforting her. But after that, it was nighttime, and I had to leave her because I knew she needed to rest because she was recovering from surgery, and it was nighttime, so I left her in the room and I went downstairs. When I got downstairs to my car, I couldn't take it anymore. And I just started crying and crying and crying and asking the Lord, why didn't you heal my daughter when we were crying out to you to heal her the supernatural way? How you did for me. I was paralyzed from head to toe, swollen. Couldn't move from my bed. It was really bad for a couple of weeks.
With arthritis.
With arthritis, yes. It was really bad. And we cried out. And the Lord did it. He healed me supernaturally. So I wanted the same to happen to my daughter. I did. And we cried out for her, and we prayed, and we believed with every single piece of faith we had in our hearts to believe. And the Lord didn't do it. And I cried out because I didn't want to go through surgery. I didn't want her to go through the pain of getting cut. And I cried out, and we cried out, and the Lord didn't do it. We had to go through pain. She had to go through pain, and she had to go through surgery. So I was crying in my car and asking the Lord, Lord, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? And while I was in my car crying, I went on my phone, and there was a pastor preaching, and he said, sometimes your suffering will make others, many others, happy. So that's when the Lord spoke to me, and he told me, you know how you were mad at me because I didn't give you your miracle when you wanted it or how you wanted it? There's many other people that are also mad at me because they think I didn't give them their miracle, or they were expecting me to give it a certain way, and I didn't. I want you to speak to those people.
So guys, our purpose with this video was to reach the people that are mad at God, the people that have doubts because God hasn't done their miracle, or the people that have felt abandoned by God like I did. The point of this video is to show you guys that he allowed for me to go through deep waters so I can be here to show you that sometimes the Lord will allow for the serpent to bite you, and in this case to almost kill me, to make you realize that no weapon formed against you shall prosper against you. So even though this huge monstrous tumor came back malignant, I can testify that the Lord completely protected me, and I have no cancer when I should have had because of the supernatural power of the Lord. It did not touch, and it did not spread anywhere else in my body. I do not have cancer, and I do not need to take chemotherapy, even though this type of cancer is known to spread and be very aggressive. So he never leaves you no matter what you go through. I know there's a lot of people suffering right now, and this video is for you. Perhaps you were just diagnosed with cancer, or this is your second or your 50th chemo, or you might have some other type of incurable disease. What we want to do is bring you your healer. Your healer is Jesus, and we bring you your healer by asking you to believe that Jesus can heal you. Pray and ask him to heal you. And remember that whatever you're going through has an end, and you will get out of it if you have faith that the Lord Jesus can do it. I want to let others know that they can be healed too. Sometimes it may not be the way you wanted it, or it may not happen to be that you get healed at all, because the Lord actually has a bigger plan and bigger agenda, and you might end up going through a greater challenge like I did. But know that the Lord is with you every step and will give you all the strength you need. And remember that it is not in vain.